Good afternoon, everybody. It's Friday yet again, and I'm back. I'm back. Did you miss me? You didn't? Yeah, that's understandable. Anyway, let's give a big thanks to Christian for doing last week's video. I had a little bit of a medical issue last Friday. I had a real bad abscess tooth that just put me out, man. I couldn't function. You know, in terms of like rating things for like pain, I'm going to put teeth pain up there with like the highest stuff. I feel like it's up there with like getting your leg cut off. Like, it's up there. It's not good. I can't function that way. Maybe I'm a big baby. I don't know. I can't function that way. So I had to deal with that on Friday and over the weekend. Monday, I had a dentist appointment. And then Thursday this week, I had a dentist appointment. So my time has been taken up with my pearly whites. So let's give a big shout out and thanks to Christian for doing last week's video. I think he did a good job. You let me know in the comments if he did a good job. I think he did a good job. A little nervous. You could tell he was a little nervous. You know, he's not quite comfortable with the camera just yet. Neither am I, but he'll get there. He'll get there. We'll get some more videos out of him, okay? We'll get some more videos out of him. Anyway, I am utilizing a new tool here today. I am filming using a selfie stick. I know, I'm one of those cool kids who's got a selfie stick. It's like it's 2006 again, guys. It's great. It's wonderful. One of our fine customers came by. Actually, the owner of the Austin Healey Replica came by, and she gave me a selfie stick. I like it. I like it so far. This is nice. I thank you for that. It's a wonderful gift. Anyway, well, you let me know if this is any better than the last videos, okay? So, let's get to it. I've got 4, maybe 5 cars to talk about this week. I know that sounds like a lot. Like, man, you guys got a lot done for having, teeth problems and doctor's stuff and blah, blah, blah. I just have updates on 5 cars for you. I don't know that I've worked on 5 cars this week, or Christian has, but we got updates on them. So let's get started here. Let's start by talking about one that isn't actually even here. That car is a 1965 Austin Healey 3000 BJ8. Now, this was a car that I had mentioned previously. I don't think I actually mentioned the car, but I had mentioned that we had a car out at another shop getting some contract work done on it, and that's what the car is. So I don't think I ever said what it was. I think I was trying to make it a surprise, but there's no point. It's a BJ8. Austin Healey 3000. It is green, and it's going to look good. We've been doing the restoration on that for a little while. The owner ran into some health issues, so we needed to get this thing finished off, get it done so that she can enjoy her car. Anyway, that car's out there. We went out to that shop. I'm really far away. We went out to that shop 2 times this week to do verification of paint color. And they're close. They're close. Both times they showed us samples of paint, and we were like, you're near it. You're surrounding it. You're getting really close with it. But just put in a little more work, and you'll get right on the color. We want to get the color matched to the engine bay color perfectly, or it's not worth doing what we're doing because it's going to look terrible. So they're probably going to be, the minute we sign off on the color, they'll be spraying that car probably next week, which means we'll probably get it in a week or 2, which will be wonderful. What that means is we really need to get some stuff out of here, okay? And we've got other stuff that's planning on coming in, so we really got to get hustling and getting some stuff out of here. So let's get started on another one that came in here. Let's see, I've got one more that you can't see because it's outside and it's too sunny out. You can't see it. It's behind that door right there. Oh, there, it's coming into focus. It's there. It's a 1989 Range Rover Classic. I love those things. I grew up with Land Rovers. I used to do a ton of work on Land Rovers. And so Land Rovers still keep appearing outside the shop, which is fine. We still work on them. It's not like we don't work on them. But it's 1989. It's a Range Rover Classic Hunter Edition. It's got some problems. Really nice truck, but it's got some problems. Came in on Monday, I believe. It was a drop-off, a random drop-off. It was not scheduled to come in. It just got towed in, which usually means something major happened. As normally people are like, hey, I want you to do tie rod ends. We'll schedule an appointment or whatever. If they just suddenly show up, it usually means, oh, something bad happened. And this one certainly matches that. The owner heard a noise from the engine, some kind of weird knocky-knock noise. Took it to his oil change place down the road from his house. They did an oil change. He gets a couple of blocks away from the oil change place. Car dies. It's a dropped off here. We did some diagnostics. We checked over a couple of things here and there. We pulled some spark plugs, checked some oil. It's got a locked up engine. She's locked up solid as a rock. Typical Rover. Actually, that's not that typical for a Rover. So we've given the owner some options, what they can do. There's some things that can be done here. None of them are simple, or none of them are really that inexpensive. But we've let them know they're thinking over what they want to do. They may sell it just as it is. So there may be a nice, clean 89 Range Rover for sale that needs an engine soon. They may have us, do an engine replacement. Who knows? But it's all up to them right now. We've given them their options. We'll see what happens. So that's covering the two cars that you can't really see. So, we're going to start talking about stuff that maybe we can show you some things on. Let's get over here first. Let's talk about this Austin Healey replica, a Sebring 5000. That's right. I found out what it was. The owner brought the manual by. It's a Sebring 5000. And she's nice and shiny red. We've been doing a little bit of going over some things, looking over some things, checking some numbers, that kind of stuff. We haven't found, we haven't diagnosed the transmission thing just yet. I have on my parts order list for this car, I've got transmission filter and gasket assembly for the pan, because no matter what's wrong with that transmission, we're going to be doing a filter and a gasket on the pan assembly, because we're going to be putting new fluid in it. We want to flush out anything that's in there. We want to get rid of all that stuff and find the leak and fix it. So that's that. The carburetor on this thing doesn't have an air filter. Some of you are like, yeah, that's cool. She doesn't have an air filter. I can hear all them horsepower going in, but they need an air filter. So she brought an air filter along with all of her parts. I was just going to slap it on there one day. I was like, it's an air filter. It takes 10 seconds to put this on. And of course, no. There's a stud that comes out of the top of the carburetor that's meant to hold the air filter. It's too short. It's what every man wants to hear. It's too short. So I got to pull that stud out of there. And it is in there. Somebody did not want that carburetor air filter stud to come out, and it's in there. So I got to pull that out. So we've got a few things kind of on the roadmap, on the game plan. I'll be working on that one next week. I'll be getting that one done real quick. As long as the transmission is just a simple fix. So, which I think it is. I'm going to regret that, but I think it is. Anyway, there's a Triumph. It's still here, guys. Yeah, it wasn't leaving anytime soon. It's still here. And I'd like to say I put in, 100 more hours on it. I didn't put a lot of time in on this. There's a couple of things I took care of on it. A few things that I ground down and sanded and smoothed out and made prettier. but really didn't get a lot of chance to work on this one this week. The owner did stop by. We had a nice conversation, good chit chat with him. Really nice dude. He showed us some pictures of his lovely home out in the New Mexico area. A gorgeous place, by the way. And that car will be residing, hopefully, out in that land, out in that area. So it gets to go out to retire out in a beautiful area of New Mexico. Lucky car. So let's, we got to get it done first. So let's get cracking on that. It's almost to that plateau that I was talking about in one of the last videos, where we're almost to that level where it's going to come out of my hands and it's going to go into Christian's hands. But it can't go into Christian's hands until Christian's done here with the Jaguar. Jaguar it's progressing. It's not progressing as fast as anyone wants it to, because it's a Jaguar and they never do. They always love to tax you in every way they can. What doesn't help with this Jaguar is that, I believe Christian mentioned this in the last video, what doesn't help with this car is that it was at another shop and another shop took it all apart. Okay, and that other shop was not, and we've had another car from them too that we got in that they had taken apart. And I'm not trying to badmouth those shops. How you run your shop is how you want to do stuff. I don't care. But when it passes off to another place like us, well, we get to complain about it. That's how it works. One of the things that was a step up from the other car that we got from them was that they did organize things kind of into Folgers coffee cans. The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. Now, that's not bad. I don't hate that. You got something storing the stuff, and that's fine. They gave us little cards inside the things that tell me what side this bucket goes to. I assume it just means that this bucket sits on the passenger side, because what I found in the bucket doesn't go to the passenger side. So I'm not sure what that label is for. Ooh, I'm getting too old for this. Anyway, after we sorted through 4 Folgers coffee can buckets full of random hardware, loose change, and lint, we also sorted through boxes of random items that some don't even go to this car. I hope they don't go to somebody else's car. Maybe they were bought for this car. I don't know. But we have a lot of things sorted out. So I got to work on it this week. I worked on the Jaguar. It's good stuff. I like doing this sometimes. I jumped on sorting out the wiring for the center console. See it there? There was all kinds of wires out and about right in here. Go check the other videos. You'll see. So I sorted all that out. Now, the stereo shop gremlins were in there. And I'm not knocking every stereo guy, but man, when I get cars from stereo shops, I wonder what it is those shops do sometimes, because it's garbage. No different here. Lots of terrible work in that center console. Soldered together stuff that didn't make sense. Pulling power wires from places you shouldn't. Extra wire hanging out. The original speaker wires were down there, but there were like crimp connectors on the end of them, but there was a connector like 3 inches away, and they cut the crimp connectors off because they didn't use the wire. They left it all in there. I don't want to talk about it. I'm getting PTSD from it, and I don't like it. However, I pushed through, and I got it. I knocked it out. She's got some nice center console in there now. It's squared away. There is a few things in here, and the sun is blinding me, so I'm having trouble here. There's a few things in there that typical 1980s car, not just Jaguar, but typical 1980s car stuff that we're dealing with. One of them is down inside there. There's a lot of switches that go inside there. There's 2 window switches, a rooftop switch, cruise control switch, and a cigarette lighter. And all of those are in plastic frame things that clip into the finished mahogany, burled, walnut, bird's eye maple, wood thing, okay? And they usually just kind of snap in place. But typical 1980s plastic, they are broken in several pieces. And someone, who I don't know, but someone decided to silicone all those switches into the holes years ago. And so I have been cleaning silicone off of all of those. And we've been debating whether or not we go to a junkyard and see if we can find good switch bezels and things of that nature. Or if we do what the other guy did who patched it up and glue them in place, which I don't like that option. I don't like it. Or last but not least, it's order new stuff if we could get it. This car is kind of in a level of its age where they're starting to get picked up as classics, but the aftermarket isn't really making everything for them yet. So, kind of a weird spot that they're in. However, I've fixed a couple of the bezels. Maybe we can glue them in. The real big problem is right here where the stereo went in. And I got the stereo installed, so that's always good. But right here where the stereo goes in, that's also the HVAC controls in the car. We're missing a lot of pieces. And so I have to go find another XJS that has those pieces. So next week video, there may be an extra one midweek maybe. Or maybe I'll put in some shots from next week. I believe we're going to have to go to a junkyard and steal some parts off of a couple of junked out XJSs, of which there are a few at our favorite junkyard. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. It's just, it's the minute you get progress forward, you run into things that are broken, and you're like, well, now I got to fix this. I didn't intend on fixing this. But you got to fix it. You can't put it in broken. So now we got to fix it. And it's a challenge finding the thing to fix it because they don't make the stuff. And now you got to find somebody who has good stuff. And even when we go to the junkyard and get it, if it's good at the junkyard, we get back here, we start putting it in, it could break. So it could be junk again. So it's just, it's a Jaguar. Yeah. They're lovely cars. Christian got the back parcel shelf back in. He's fitting up the lid. We're going to put these side cover panels in here soon. We found some extra parts in another bin stashed away inside of a bag, inside of a box for some stuff that goes underneath these, so that's always nice. And of course the lights that go in these holes right here. There's lights. When you open the door, they light up. These map lights here. These lights are of course broken into 8,000 pieces, so we got to get some of those too. It's going to be fun. But we've sorted the wiring. We found out stuff that's broken that we need to replace. But we're moving along. We're getting there. I would say by the end of next week, you're going to see seats in this thing. So a lot of the little detail stuff that we got to still do. Getting the top functioning as it should, we got to do that still. But you should see seats and the final carpet in here. We should be done in the cockpit area. Cockpit. And then, what am I, 12? And then the trunk will be the next thing that we square away. I've been rambling real hard. My mind is all afluster these days. So, that's it for this week. I got nothing else for you. Selfie stick seems to have been working okay. I seem to have been leaning it a lot. But that's okay. We'll get it. I'm working these bugs out, all right? We're doing all right. I will see you all next week with another fine installment of Shop Update. And until then, have a wonderful, wonderful week, and have a wonderful weekend, and have a wonderful rest of your Friday. I will see you next Friday. Bye.